I often start the class by acknowledging that we're on Kaurna country, and I might spend a bit of time asking everyone to look out the window and think about this country, and that there are kind of layers and layers of histories that are being created here all the time. And then I also...
So one thing that teachers can do to make students feel safe, so particularly where there might be a strong Indigenous focus on the content for that week, is to go to the students who they know to be Indigenous and to talk to them beforehand about what they might want to say in that class, or what their feelings are about that class, and sort of have that pre-meeting so that students aren't put on the spot during the class, and just to really support them through that content to speak up in class if they want to, but also to let them sit back if they don't feel up to talking about whatever the topic is. I think the other thing is, like I touched on before, is to pick up on the comments made by non-Indigenous students and really explore what those are and use those as a learning opportunity too.
I think it's important not to make assumptions about students, and I mean students in general, their understanding of Indigenous issues, of sort of socio-political issues, and sort of be prepared for to deal with what many might consider sort of basic historical discussions and things like that. I guess what I'm getting at is that there, I think inevitably, is a lot of ignorance about Indigenous issues, particularly from undergrads who are still young and not necessarily, may not know any Aboriginal people, so never looked at Aboriginal issues before. So I don't think that we should create an environment where that ignorance is perpetuated. I think we need to be able to be prepared to talk about things, to enlighten people, I guess, because that then helps students to be able to feel like they're not going to be victimized or stereotyped in any way. That tangents will always come up when you're talking about Indigenous issues because everything is so closely linked to each other. So in terms of preparing for class and time management, you need to be prepared for those tangents and to have a strategy, I guess, to deal with, making sure that you're able to cover the material that you need to cover, but also being open to letting that discussion grow. You may have Indigenous students in your class and not know it, so you can't make assumptions based on physical appearance. So I think it's just important to keep that in mind and not to assume that there's no Indigenous students in your class.